stay safely at home. Now, yesterday I sent you that lecture. I discussed what are the different renewable sources and non-renewable sources. Now, what are the differences? This is a very important topic for your board exam. Differences between renewable and non-renewable sources. Now, renewable sources, they can be used again and again over a long period of time, whereas non-renewable sources cannot be used for long period of time, and the renewable sources will not get exhausted. Non-renewable sources will get exhausted after some time. Then renewable sources can be regenerated. You can get it again, but non-renewable sources cannot be regenerated. And remember that renewable sources are non-conventional. Conventional means generally we do not use. Do you use the solar energy, wind energy, biomass energy, geothermal energy at home? No. So they are the non-conventional sources of energy, whereas the non-renewable sources, they are the conventional sources of energy. So renewable and non-renewable sources of energy, these 4 points of difference you must learn. Again I am reminding you, never write the use and example in the difference, because they are never considered as the difference. Now, how we can use energy judiciously? Why we have to do? Because you know that non-renewable sources of energy, they will get exhausted, okay, near future only. So we will have to face energy crisis. So just to avoid energy crisis, judicious use of energy we have to know. Now, what are the different steps so that you can use energy judiciously? Now here this question also important exam wise, okay, so that's why point wise according to its importance I have written. You also, you must note it down and learn it. Clear? First point is, first thing is that stop wastage of energy. Alright, you know how to stop wastage of energy. What you will do when you are going out of the room, then you should switch off all the electricity and everything, okay. And next one is, try to use less amount of coal and petroleum. Coal and petroleum you use only when there is no alternative. Clear? Then third point, try to make use of energy in group. How you can make use of energy in group? Just you consider that you are going out from the same place. 5 students are going out, going to the school. Clear? Now 5 students are using 5 cars. So what is happening? 5 cars burning the 5 times the amount of petrol, but instead of using 5 cars, all the 5 girls, if they travel by the same car, then you can save the energy and you can learn to use energy in groups. Alright, then next one is, do not cut trees, rather you plant more and more trees. So these are the point I have summarized, that wastage of energy should be avoided. Coal, petroleum should be used for limited purposes when no other alternative source of energy is available. Efforts must be made to make use of energy in community. Then cutting of trees must be banned and more trees should be planted. Now we can produce electricity from solar energy. Alright, how we can produce electricity from solar energy? By using the solar cells. Whatever topic I will discuss now, you just listen to it, learn. You don't have to prepare it for your board exam. Generally question never comes on this topic, so you don't have to prepare, just to understand what is this. Now generally we make solar cells. Solar cell is the device which converts solar energy into electrical energy. So what is that? For that we generally use semiconductor, germanium, gallium, silicon, these are the semiconductors, alright. And in semiconductors, if you add impurities, then it become the extrinsic type semiconductor. Pure semiconductor conductivity means it cannot conduct electricity very highly. Okay, now when it can conduct electricity highly, if you increase the impurity level present in the semiconductor. So that's why what is done, that to a pure semiconductor valency, I hope you have learnt in chemistry. So for pure semiconductor the valency is 4. Now if you add a substance of valency 5 to the 4 one, okay, or if you add a trivalent substance to the semiconductor, then what happens, the conductivity increases and the semiconductor becomes extrinsic or impure semiconductor. Alright, now there are generally two type of semiconductor. One is known as the P type, another is N type. So in a solar cell, what is happening, just see. There is a P-type semiconductor and there is an N-type semiconductor. They are joined together, and here what happened, the sunlight is allowed to fall. Sunlight, why I have given this way? Because sunlight, it carries the energy E is equal to H into F. F is the frequency of the light falling on it. So what will happen? The upper portion, it is made thin. So what happens? The light, it enters and it comes at the junction. So after coming to the junction, the light, what it does, it breaks covalent bond. What it does? It breaks covalent bond. So when it breaks covalent bond, then electron hole pairs are produced. Okay, after breaking the covalent bond, electron hole pairs are produced. Then what happens to the electrons? Electrons, they just get accumulated within the cell. Now, when you are joining the two ends of the cell by something, then what will happen? The electrons accumulated here, they will pass through this closed circuit and will give rise to the electric current. So this is the simple way the solar cell works. Alright. Now if you consider this diagram, you don't have to draw, just understand it, how the solar cell works. You don't have to write it in the copy also. So this is the way the solar cell works, and solar cell gives us energy, electricity. Now the electricity you are getting from one solar cell, it is very less in amount. So that's why what is done, solar panel is made. In the solar panel, the solar cells, this each blocks are solar cells. The solar cells, they are connected like this. Okay, means different solar cells, several solar cells are connected, joined in series over the solar panels. Alright, and the solar panel, that's why what it does, when sunlight falls on it, then it produces a huge amount of electrons stored within it, each solar cell stored within it, and then the solar panel, when you are using, when it is dark, when the sunlight is there, then also you can use, then what will happen, you can get a large amount of electricity. And how it is done? Solar panel, this solar panel, it is connected to a battery. Okay, then the battery you may connect to one example I am giving you, are connecting to a electric motor, and then by the electric motor you can pump water and you can take water to the water tank. Alright, or what you can do, by the solar panel you can operate all the points present in your houses also. Generally in rural areas it is done, because rural areas, from the government subsidies are given to set the solar panels. So by using the solar panel in rural areas, electricity, they can light up their houses. Even by using solar panel, the road street lights can also be lighted. So this is the way, by using solar panel you can produce electricity. Now when electricity is produced from solar energy, then it has some advantage also and some disadvantage also. And these advantages and disadvantages are important for your board exam. So you must write down point wise and learn also. Now what are the advantages of solar panel? First, solar panel advantage is that you do not need any maintenance. Alright, you know that whatever apparatus you are having at home, you need some maintenance of it. But for solar panel, it does not need maintenance. So as maintenance is not needed, so running cost is almost nil. Alright, running cost of solar panel is nil, and it can be used for long period of time. And solar panel, solar energy, it is a clean source of energy. Clean source of energy means what? It never cause environmental pollution. Alright, then what are the disadvantages of solar panel? Disadvantages of solar panel is that its installation cost is very high. Installation cost means when you are installing the solar panel in your house, then it is very high. That's why in rural areas, what our government is doing, government is giving them subsidies. So when the subsidies, they are getting the rural people, when they are getting subsidies, so it is becoming easy to install the solar panel. But that is one of the disadvantage, that the installation cost of solar panel is very high. Then the next one is the very important point. When you are using the solar energy, then very less amount of solar energy is getting converted into electricity. Alright, so the efficiency of conversion of solar energy into electricity is very less. And last one is solar energy. I hope you know, you are having this concept that the electric current we are using at home, that is the alternating current. Alright, alternating current means what? The current which changes its direction and magnitude at every moment of time. That is known as the at regular interval of time, definitely, that is known as the alternating current. And direct current is what? The current which always flow with the constant magnitude in the same direction. That is known as the direct current. Now in the household purposes, we use AC. AC does not mean air conditioner or air cooler. AC means alternating current. Okay. Now solar panel, it produces direct current. So the devices that we are using at home, they are not fit for the direct current. They are made for alternating current. So that is another disadvantage of solar energy, that from the solar panel, whatever electricity you are getting, that is direct electricity. So you have to convert that direct electricity into alternating electricity, and then only you can use it for the household purposes. Or another alternative is that there are different kind of electrical devices for direct current. They are big in size. That's why generally we avoid that. So you can buy that. So that is costly also, that is not cheap also. They are big in size. So that's why if you want to use the solar energy, electricity from the solar energy, first of all you have to convert it into alternating current, then only you can use it at home. So these are the point advantages and disadvantages, whatever I have discussed, that I have summarized. So what are the advantages? They last over long period of time, running cost is almost nil, do not require maintenance, and do not cause any environmental pollution. And what are the disadvantages? The installation cost is very high, the efficiency of conversion of solar energy to electricity is low, and a solar panel produces DC electricity which cannot be used directly for household purposes. So, production of electricity from solar energy, from this topic, these are the advantages and disadvantages you must learn and prepare. Next is production of electricity from wind energy. So how the electricity is produced from wind energy, that everybody knows. If you go to the coastal areas, then you will see the windmills are there. Means giant wheels are there. Okay, I can just draw the diagram, that giant wheels, this is the way the giant wheels are there. And what happens, they are connected in series, and these wheels, they are connected to the armature of the dynamo or generator. So what happens, due to the flow of wind, when this windmill rotates, then what happens, the armature of generator rotates and the electricity is produced. Alright. So this is the way by using the windmill generally electricity are produced from wind energy. Now understand is what are the advantages of producing electricity from, I have written here advantage. Advantage of what? Advantage of producing electricity from windmill. Now, one windmill cannot produce a large amount of energy just like the solar cell, solar panel we create. So, here also instead of one windmill, we have a series of windmill that is spread over a very large area that is known as the wind farm. Alright. Now, what are the advantages of using getting electricity from wind energy? First advantage is that it is a clean source of energy, means it does not cause environmental pollution, and it is an everlasting source of energy. Means what? It can be used, the source of energy can be used over a long period of time. Then what are the disadvantages of getting electricity from wind energy? Now, if you want that from the wind energy electricity should produce, then wind has to flow with a speed greater than 15 km per hour and steadily it should flow. You have understood what I have said? Wind has to flow, what should be the speed? Greater than 15 km per hour. Then only electricity is produced. So, is it possible to get that kind of flow of wind everywhere, every time? No. So, that is the disadvantage of getting electricity from wind energy. Then second is, if you want to establish a wind farm, then you need a very large area. That is another disadvantage. And another disadvantage is that to establish a wind farm means the establishment cost of a wind farm is very, very high. So these are the three disadvantages of getting electricity from wind energy. What are the three advantages? Wind with a speed less than 15 km per hour cannot produce electricity. A large area is needed to establish wind farm, and the establishment cost of a wind farm is very high. Next is production of electricity from hydro energy. So, how we produce electricity from hydro energy? You know that water, they are stored, the extra flowing water, that is extra waters are stored in dam. Dams are constructed at higher level. Then from the dam, water is allowed to fall down. And when water is falling down, then water is allowed to fall down on the giant wheel, the plates of a giant wheel, that is known as turbine. And turbine is connected to the armature of the generator. So what happens? From the dam, when water is released, water is flowing on the plates of the turbines, and turbine will rotate, so armature of the generator will rotate and the electricity will be produced. So that is the way from hydro energy, from flowing water, electricity is produced. So it has some advantages and disadvantages also. What are the advantages? It is an everlasting source of energy, renewable source of energy. It does not cause any environmental pollution, and dams constructed for the production of electricity, the water that is stored within the dam can be used for irrigation purposes, and as you can store the extra water during rainy season within the dam, so the means flood also, occurring of flood also can be prevented. So these are the three advantages of getting electricity from hydro energy. What are there? It is an everlasting source of energy, do not cause environmental pollution, and the dam constructed over rivers help us in irrigation and control of floods in river. Then the question is, what are the disadvantages? Flowing water is not available everywhere. Is it available? No. So we cannot produce electricity every place from hydro energy. And then Due to construction of dams over the river, what happens? Plants and animals in that particular place get completely destroyed or killed. And sometimes it happens that human beings also, they may have to move from one place to another. Generally the poor people only, due to the construction of dams. That is another disadvantage. And another disadvantage of construction of dams means what you are doing when you are constructing the dam, then water is stored within the dam, water is getting stagnant. So what is happening? The ecological balance in the downstream area, it gets destroyed due to the construction of dam. So what are the disadvantages of getting electricity from hydro energy? That flowing water is not available everywhere. Due to construction of dams over the river, plants and animals of that place get destroyed or killed, and the ecological balance in the downstream areas of river gets disturbed. So you must learn the advantages and disadvantages of production of electricity from solar energy, wind energy and hydro energy.